What's up, y'all? How we doing? How we doing? I posted a video yesterday and I deleted it because I want to talk about something serious for a second, and I thought I needed to think more clearly about the way I want to word this video and the way that I want to come across. And when I posted it, I was just in sheer anger mode and was being as vulgar and mean as possible, and that's not what I want this video to be. I think this is an important topic, and I want to word myself carefully to get my point across. So, I had my first serious incident with a customer. First of all, let me start off by saying that I recognize what women go through every day, and it's something that haunts me. I think about that little girl's future every fucking day, dude. How creepy guys are, the fact that half girls do OnlyFans, give in to the creepy guys, and the fact that she's gonna have to grow up in this world where it's just so gross that women are not treated right. And whatever your political beliefs are, that's just the fact. Women are not treated right. They got 100 guys in their inbox. They get catcalled every time they go to the fucking store. If you're a good-looking woman, chances are you hear that you're a good-looking woman 10 times a fucking day, and that sucks. But on the other side of that, you have women that happily contribute to that ideology that you're just an object by, valuing yourself by how many dudes jack off to your OnlyFans. I want what's best for women, and dude, outing toxic masculinity and all these things and the steps in the right directions that we have gone, I have been rooting for and I have argued for, and fucking I care. And I'm not the type of guy to hit on a woman. As a matter of fact, every woman that I've ever dated has shown interest in me first. I'm the type of guy that a girl could literally get on a table and bend over and say fuck me, and then I still wouldn't get the hint that she's into me, right? Like it's not that I'm weird around women, it's just that I treat them like they're human beings. Imagine that, right? Like, imagine that. The best way to get a woman is to treat them like a human being instead of hitting on them and saying, hey, can I get your number? Just talk to them like they're a normal person. Show that you're uninterested in them in that way. That ends up being how you get a woman most of the time. The 9 guys that are, hi, hey beautiful, hey gorgeous. Like, my point is, man, I am not a guy that would ever in a million years make a woman feel uncomfortable or hit on her or force myself on her or anything like that. I had an Uber customer yesterday accuse me of harassment. And Branson, I know that this is a town people aren't familiar with. So Branson, you have the main strip 76, which is where all the attractions are. And then running parallel to it, you have Rourke Valley and you have Green Mountain. And each of these roads that run parallel to 76 are like 0.2 miles. You have a bunch of roads connecting them to 76. And these roads are like 0.2 miles away, right? So, one second. So, basically, if traffic is really bad on 76, which it always is, especially on a Friday night, sometimes it's easier to, instead of taking a left turn on 76, sometimes it's easier to take a right and take a block real quick and then turn right on 76. Instead of waiting there for 15 minutes to turn left just dangerously, right? So I had this customer. He was a female. Fucking looked like she was 40, and just based off the way she acted is a complete narcissist. Apparently she thinks every guy within a 100-mile radius wants to fuck her, even though she's a solid 5 at best and has the personality of a negative fucking 10. She gets in my car. She gets in the back. I have my daughter in the back seat, always. We say nothing to each other. I say, how you doing? Like I do all my customers. And I always match energy. I'm a speak when spoken to type of person. So if a customer, I say, how you doing? And they say, good, how are you? And they start conversing, then I'll converse with them back. If they say good, then we don't talk. She said good, insinuating she didn't want to talk. Fine with me, man. I actually prefer that. So, and to fill the awkward silence, I turn the music up a little bit, not loud, just enough that it's, in the background to fill that awkward silence. To me, it's not awkward silence anymore. I've done fucking 500 trips, but to a customer, it might be. So, we don't say a word to each other. It is a mile-long fare, okay? It is a minimum. I'm getting paid $4 for this fare. It's a mile long, okay? So, we're on a street that comes up to 76, and the GPS wants me to take left on 76, and it's in the worst, most crowded and jammed-packed part of 76 too, because you got Walmart and you got the Branson Coaster right across the street, and then you got all these people that try to turn down Forsyth, and then right by that turn in the middle lane, you got people trying to turn into Walmart, and the middle lane is often clogged. And then the 2 lane, it is impossible to turn left. I said to this woman, I know the GPS is saying to go left, but I'm going to turn right, and we're going to take a corner, and then we're going to turn right on 76. Otherwise, we're going to be here for 15 minutes. And I do this a lot, because not only is it quicker, but it's safer. It's a hell of a lot more safe than fucking flooring it and trying to fit into that tiny gap, and I learned how to drive in Memphis, man, where making left turns aren't possible. It sometimes it is just quicker. So I said that to her, and clearly she wasn't paying any attention, because she was just back there texty, and then responded with something like, yeah, GPSs are bad, or something that didn't make any sense, which showed that she kind of just tuned out what I said. But anyway, I turned right, and then I turned down Glory Road, which is 0.2 miles, connects to Green Mountain. Then you come to a stop sign, you turn, literally, it's a 4-way, and then you go to a stop sign, then you can turn left up Wildwood and get back on 76, and then turn right. And literally, it's 0.3, 0.4 miles total. Not out of the way at all. If anything, I was quicker and more safe. And the second I turned right, this woman screamed, "Stop the car right now or I'm calling 911. And it took me a brief moment to even realize she was talking to me, because it was just so fucking random. We're in the middle of Branson. You got 100 people outside right now playing putt-putt, go-karts, you name it. It is not a easy fucking, you have so many people around, is my point. And we literally just went 0.2 miles out of the way. And like I said, already explained everything I was doing, that there is no logical reason that this woman should have ever thought that she was in danger. So she said that. And then it took me a second. And then she said it again. "Stop the car right now or I'm calling the police." I couldn't stop the car because we're on 76. So I turned onto the road that I planned on turning on, which even freaked her out even more, even though, again, I explained I'm going to take this little square corner. It's literally a square, basically. A tiny square that gets you back on 76 to where you can turn right on it instead of left. Now we know why she's taking an Uber and doesn't have a driver's license. Anyway, So I do get to a spot where I can stop. And I said, what are you talking about? Like, I told you that the traffic is so bad I cannot turn left there. So I turned right, showed her my GPS to show her we are, in fact, still en route to the destination and that everything was fine. In hindsight, I should have kicked her ass out right then and there. I'm allowed to do that. You're in my car, on my dime, on my gas. I should have just kicked her out and canceled the trip, because not only did that show that she was going to be a shitty customer, but then that gets out. I don't get paid, but it was only a mile anyway. She had only been in the car for a total of 2 minutes and whatever. Then she can't rate me and whatever. And then she also said, after saying 911, this is the most unprofessional I have ever been. Like, she has been in the car for a total of a minute and a half. Nobody has said anything to each other. I haven't looked at her. Nothing. So this is the most unprofessional. First of all, I am being safer and more efficient and quicker. And you're just so self-obsessed that you think every guy within a 100-mile radius wants to fuck your crusty, dusty cunt. Get out of your fucking high horse, dude. Like, I have, for the last 3 days now, tried to put myself in her headspace. You're a single woman, or whatever. You're a woman, you're getting into a guy's car. I get the uneasiness. I get why you'd be uneasy, especially if you're in a town that you don't know, right? But I have my 3-year-old daughter in the backseat. We're around hundreds of people. I explained what I was going to do. The trip was a mile long. I think she was just trying to get a free ride. I don't know, and maybe somebody in the comments can verify this, but if you report your ride as unsafe or and cancel it on the customer's end, does that give you the trip for free? Like, do you get refunded? Because the only logical explanation I can arrive to in my mind is that she was just trying to get a free ride. I also record my rides, by the way. The audio, anyway. There's a thing. So I said to her, whenever I showed her the GPS, that everything is on recording. So whatever gross shit you're trying to accuse me of, you can throw that out the window right now, because I have proof that that isn't the case. If you want me to let you out right here, I will, but I promise we're going to the right spot. And then she told me to keep going, so I kept going. Like I said, in hindsight, should have kicked her out. But I actually care about getting my customer to her destination. At the end of the day, she is a small woman. I didn't want to just drop her off at the side of the road. I think that says so much about me right there. Just the fact that this customer was sitting here screaming at me for no reason, and I still cared about getting her to her destination. Anyway, she calls her boyfriend. I'm going to call him Mr. Airhead from now on, because when I seen him, he had a flat bill hat that was, on top of his head instead of on his head. And she started saying that I was a creep and that I went the opposite direction, but she made me get back on track. And when we got to the destination and I dropped her off, I said, because we turned right on 76, I said, do you see how bad traffic is? Try turning left in that. And then she cut me off and said, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So, okay, I guess all logistics and logic is out the fucking window, and we're just going to be mad for no reason now. I don't want an explanation as to why you didn't turn left into this deadly traffic. I just want to be mad and act like the self-obsessed narcissist that I am. Because I am just so pretty that it is impossible that a guy could not want to fuck with my fugly ass. Keep in mind, this bitch is like 45. Fucking 20 years past her prime, okay? Like, I get to the parking spot, I drop her off at where she was supposed to be dropped off, and then she gets out of the car and says, he's the one, and then this fucking guy tries to come and rip me out of my car. I have a 3-year-old in the seat. A direct threat to me is a direct threat to her, and let me tell you something. If I feel like putting my daughter in danger, I will fucking kill you. I'm not talking about I'll hurt you, I'll get out and knock you out. I'm talking I will act in self-defense and bash your fucking brains in if you ever put it in my brain that you're going to be a threat to her. So this guy comes up and he's trying to pull me out of the car, and I just fucking drove off. Figured that was the best thing to do, and he chases my car. Like, yeah, man, I bet you would win that battle against my car, you fucking idiot. You guys deserve each other. You don't seem to understand how cars work, and your girl doesn't seem to understand how traffic works. Way to go. That's why we're calling Uber. Anyway, I got the trip completed, and immediately called Uber to report it, because that was basically harassment and assault. She screamed at me, she berated me the entire time, and then almost tried to have dude assault me. I didn't call the police because he didn't get a hand on me, so I didn't think that that was a matter that would bother the police. Like, what is there to charge? He didn't get a hand on me, so it's not assault. I don't think attempted assault. Maybe I don't know. I didn't call the police. I called ADT and the safety shit that's within the Uber app, right? Because obviously, now that I completed the trip, this bitch is going to put in a 1-star and a false report, right? So I called ADT and reported exactly what fucking happened. Gave them the recording, and that shit still stuck to my account. Let me show you. Even though in 5 minutes you could look at my case, my GPS, track my trip, and listen to my recording, easily see that I did absolutely nothing. Not only is there 1 star not been removed, which Uber says that if a customer lies and gives you a 1 star and lies about you, that they'll remove it. And rightfully so, because a 1 star is hard to unremove. Like, looking at my ratings now, I have a total of 230 ratings. 225 of them are 5 stars. 1 is 1 star, 2 stars, and 2 1 stars. The 2 1 stars I have gotten back-to-back weeks, both being liars. This bitch went, whenever you put 1 star, it pops up option buttons like, why are you giving a 1 star? She said, not polite. Which is funny because I didn't say a word other than trying to calm her down and explain to her what was going on. I communicated with her. The only one that wasn't being polite was, the person screaming and trying to get somebody physically assaulted in front of a 3-year-old child. Ignoring requests. Oh, I'll just go ahead and show it to you. Fuck it. So vehicle damage is from the bitch last week that said I had a dent in the door. Not polite. Ignoring requests, which is a big one. That's actually a huge one. I didn't ignore her request. She said to stop the car, I stopped the car. I didn't stop it the second she said so because, I have situational awareness. I mean, Darwinism clearly isn't working in her favor, but for me, it is. So I couldn't stop right when she said stop, but whenever I got to a safe place to where I could, I absolutely did stop. And then she said to keep going, which I did. Which, like I said, at that point, I should have said, get the fuck out of my car. This is all on recording. Goodbye. I should have done that. The fact that I still cared about calming her down and getting her to her destination. Why am I like that? Why? People are so fucking awful. And here I am being berated, caring about getting her to her destination. Unsafe drop-off. Which is funny because I dropped her off at her destination, which you can easily fucking prove in fucking 2 seconds just by tracking my trip. And communication issues, which is funny because I communicated exactly what I was doing when I made the turn. The dumb bitch was so fucking balls deep in the phone that she didn't hear what I said. So it kind of seems like she had the communication issues. What I find funny, though, is that you have ignore requests and unsafe drop-offs. So which one is it? Did I ignore your requests and kept going when you said stop? Or did I do what you said and drop you off in an unsafe spot? You don't get to have both, bitch. Like, you don't get to say that I ignored your request and dropped you off in an unsafe spot if that was your fucking, it's either one or the other. My point is each one of these things you can easily disprove. Unsafe drop-off, you can see on the GPS I dropped her off at the location. Communication issues, you can hear in my recording I communicated with her. Ignoring requests, you can hear in my recorded that I listened to her. Not being polite, you can hear who the one not being polite was. And vehicle damage, that's absolutely bullshit. And then she, made the report that I made her feel uncomfortable because I made a right or left turn. But, doesn't matter that I was sitting here getting screamed at the whole time or almost got physically threatened. Doesn't matter that made me uncomfortable. She just got uncomfy because I took a right turn instead of a left turn. What if I would have did that on accident? What if I would have just been following the GPS and that's what it said to do? Like, I literally stated, the GPS says turn left here, but as you can see, all this traffic, I would be sitting here forever. I'm going to turn right. We're going to take that first left, and then we're going to come right back around and turn right on 76. Not only will it be faster, but it'll be safer, which is funny that she reports feeling unsafe when I literally did my job safer. Now that I have explained to you what has happened, I want to bitch about the fact that this is still on there. Because I provided all that evidence to Uber. And is that 1 star gone? No, it isn't. And whenever I get on my shit, I have to see how I'm an unsafe creep instead of them deleting that. Which means, let's think hypothetically for a second. Imagine I didn't get away, right? And that guy got me pulled out of the car, got one over on me and fucking beat the shit out of me. Or I got my hammer from underneath the seat in self-defense and bashed his fucking skull in. Then what? That's just it? That you just take the customer's word for it and that's it? What if I'm a female driver and I get fucking groped or raped? What if I get fucking stabbed or assaulted? You're telling me that if I call and report that not only do I have to deal with getting stabbed, but I also, if the stabber just goes, no, I didn't, nope, that you just immediately side with him, so now I have a bad rating and got stabbed. I really expected Uber to have my back on this one, especially since I had all the evidence to prove everything untrue. But no, they just don't fucking care. Literally, they act like they give a fuck. There are so many safety features. And nothing. You could easily look at this case. Unsafe drop-off. Immediately false. I dropped her off at the Branson Coaster parking lot, which is exactly where I was supposed to. So that right there immediately shows that she's lying and immediately disproves her credibility, which means you know that the rest of what she is saying is bullshit. Now, this is where I want to get into something deep. Okay? I have been thanked by 4 women now for not being creepy. Do you know how depressing that is? To drop off a customer and then be thanked for not being creepy. And then told about all the other Ubers out there that have asked for her number or asked for a hug. Like, this one girl told me that an Uber driver, literally, as they dropped her off, asked her for a fucking hug. Like, this is 5th grade. My point is, women absolutely do have to deal with creepy Uber drivers. And do you know what your dumbass did by falsely reporting harassment? You make it harder for the women that actually have to deal with that creep. When a woman says that she felt uncomfortable in a car, that is something that you should be able to take without question. But because of women like this, that like to falsely claim harassment just to get a fucking free Uber trip, that does nothing but make a mockery of women's issues, dude. And so many women out there do it. Lie about sexual assault, lie about harassment, lie about being sexually mistreated or sexism, double standards, just to get their fucking way. It only makes a mockery of the subject when women actually deal with it. And the same thing applies to racism. You know, a black person pulling the fucking race card just because something didn't go his way. It makes the next person that deals with racism not be taken seriously because of people like you. I have literally had women thank me, and I've had women be so sweet to me for simply just giving them a ride and not saying a word, right? And to be told now that I am a creep by this woman when I said nothing and I made a right turn instead of a left one, which was impossible to make because I was trying to be safer, quicker, and more efficient. I got yelled at for doing my job and doing it well. She felt unsafe. I did the safest option. What's not safe is turning left onto a highway that is backed up 2 miles of traffic at a standstill and then backed up the other way, because that's how bad 76 gets, guys. Like, I'm telling you, imagine, like, those of you that live in a big city already know how it gets with, like, 8 lanes and having to turn left and how it's just not possible. But in Branson, it's 1 lane, or 3 lanes, sorry. Not, like, a total of 3 lanes. 1 lane, turn lane, 1 lane. So you would think that a street wouldn't be that busy, but it is, dude. Like, it gets backed up for a mile, and if you try to turn left, unless somebody lets you out, which is still dangerous because then you have to turn into the turning lane and then put your blinker on and then wait for the traffic to stop and then squeeze in. It's just really safe, and it takes it's really unsafe, and it takes a long time. You know, it's a lot quicker to just go right, turn into this, go right. Normally, I would turn into a parking lot, like turn right, turn into a parking space immediately, and then turn right onto 76. But when we turned right onto 76, it just so happened that Glory Road was right there, which I knew would go to East Green Mountain, which I knew would loop back around to 76, and then we could take a right turn. And I knew that that was the quickest, safest, and most efficient route. It's almost like, you know, the people that live here in Uber know what we're doing. And like again, I communicated this while I was doing it. Like, it's not like I just turned right and didn't say anything. But even if I did, what if I just looked at the GPS wrong? What if, like the fact that she was so ready to make that claim shows a touch of narcissism. Like, not everybody wants to fuck your ugly ass. Get over yourself. And that she was just trying to get a free trip. She was just looking for a fucking problem. And that makes a mockery of it. And that pisses me off. To make a mockery, to make such a false accusation as that, when there's actual women out there that have to deal with creepy Uber customers, it just makes it fucking harder for them. So congrats, bitch. You gave me a 1 star, but I hope you know that you are a walking step backward for women everywhere. And as long as you're proud of that, hey, good luck. Good luck in this life, because I couldn't fucking imagine how miserable it must be to be that way, to treat people that way. Like, I for the last 3 days, I have literally, like, the first night it happened, I posted a video, and I was really rude, I was really rash, and just mad. And I've thought about it for the last 3 days now, and just tried putting myself in her perspective, man. I'm a girl, I'm getting into a guy's car, he turns the opposite way, but there's no room for confusion because I explained what was happening. If she tuned me out, that's kind of fucking her problem. But okay, but still, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm sitting here texting, my Uber driver says something, whatever, I didn't really hear it, look up, and he turns right. There are hundreds of people on both sides of us, and I have a 3-year-old sitting right next to you, you fucking clown. What do you think I'm going to do? All you gotta do is roll down the window and say, hey, this guy's fucking being weird. And 100 people would be able to just get into my car because we're not moving, because we're on a highway that... the point is, it's not like we were in the boonies. It's not like I made a wrong turn in the boonies, you know, like in the middle of nowhere. We were surrounded by people. I knew exactly what I was doing. I communicated what I was doing. There's a 3-year-old sitting next to her. And the fact that she would imply that I would do anything like that in front of my 3-year-old, for one, like, just, there is no logical way that she thought she was unsafe. She was just looking to be a cunt, is my point. But at the expense of every woman ever. Because, congratulations, next time a woman says that an Uber was creepy to her, I might fucking wonder if she's telling the truth. And it's because of people like you. You literally make it fucking harder for women. And then that just makes me want to wrap it around to this point of OnlyFans falsely accusing people of sexism, falsely fucking... You can't suck 9 dicks to get to the top and then get to the 10th one and get mad at the guy for getting his dick out. You should be mad at the guy for getting his dick out, but you sucked 9 other ones to get to the top. You feel me? That's how I look at OnlyFans. Like, you can't sit here and fucking complain that you get catcalled and have hundreds of guys in your inboxes while you actively contribute to the ideology that you are just an object for their pleasure when you make a living off showing those same very creeps your pussy. You are enabling creeps, for one. The more guys that are able to just look up, you know, whoever the fuck they want and buy their OnlyFans, the more guys that are going to disassociate women as fucking human beings as a whole. And as long as you have women that are willing to play that role, you are having women that are actively helping fucking men play that role. Do you understand? Well, you blame the guy for being creepy, but blame the woman for contributing to it. If you do OnlyFans, congratulations, you are setting women back. If your way of surviving is like my ex-wife, jumping from dude to dude for him to fucking take care of you while you sit there and have none of the responsibilities, popping out kids left and fucking right that you abandoned because you'd rather be a party girl, you are a literal step back. You make it harder for other women. And then while there's women out there that actually bust their fucking ass to make changes, you're the first ones to sit here and take all the fucking credit for it and act like you care. You don't care about toxic masculinity. You don't fucking care about sexism. You literally profit off being a fucking woman. You are happy to make that your entire personality, make yourself a victim and a damsel in distress in a situation where you're not one at all, and then get mad when you're treated like a damsel in distress. Do you get what I'm saying here? Like, I swear to God, dude, like, the girls that made fun of the girl in high school that tried, was busy bat blowing the fucking football team and copied off of her and took all the credit, those are the girls that do shit like that girl did. Just, nothing happened. It was an absolute false accusation. I have the evidence already submitted, and it doesn't look like Uber wants to back up its drivers, which is very unfortunate and literally makes me want to quit because I don't want to see that attached to my shit. And after the specific conversations that I have had with women in my car, this pisses me off so much. And with my 3-year-old being in the back, and just how much I fucking care about her and her future and the bullshit that she's gonna have to fucking deal with. Half of you selling your pussy and the other fucking half busting their ass to get away from just being a pussy. You know, like, the future is gonna be harder for women. Assaults on women are going to get worse. Harassment on women is going to get worse. You can vote now. Yeah, sure. Maybe. Great. Cool. That's doing a lot of good. Our 2 options are fucking great. Are you happy that you can vote now? I know I am. Woo. Anyway, do you actually think women are better off today? Like, I think women are more mistreated now more than ever. Guys treat women literally more sexually and more often now. The number of sexual assaults and shit get higher, like they're literally getting worse. And shit like OnlyFans and false accusations, and it's just gonna make it worse, man. The population is expected to double by 2050, and that's what 8 other billion people are gonna get to learn is like I want women to get to a place where one day my daughter doesn't get catcalled whenever she goes into a fucking gas station. I worry about her future every fucking day, dude. And I would never want to negatively influence that. Or women's progress. Or ever fucking push myself on a woman. Or ever make a woman uncomfortable. Ever. And it makes me so fucking sad to see that attached to my name. And it makes me so fucking sad that Uber doesn't like that's a big fucking deal, man. Like just imagine that I literally did get physically assaulted for no fucking reason other than this miscommunication error because she tuned me out over a mile-long trip. Imagine that we did get into a physical fucking fight. Like, what then, Uber? I probably would have gotten fired is probably what would have happened, even with the evidence that I have. Just because it's safer to cover their ass and quicker just in case she's right. Even though I clearly... I don't know. But it's going to take like 100 5 stars to undo those 2 1 stars. So that's fucking cool, man. I got somebody... My other 1 star was somebody that lied and said my vehicle was damaged because there was a dent in the fucking door. But she didn't comment about my $500 custom mats and LED lights that are nice and how clean it is on the inside. No, she said I had a dent in the door, so my vehicle was undrivable and gave me a 1 star and lied. So that's 2 fucking false reports now. 2 1 stars and 2 false reports that I've gotten on me that not only could I prove were untrue, but Uber just let sit there. Fuck you, Uber. Fuck you, customer, for falsely fucking accusing me of being weird whenever I never at any point was. You were just looking to get a free fucking trip. Fuck your airhead of a boyfriend who was ready to fight when he literally didn't even know what was going on. And fuck you women out there that literally fucking make it harder for women everywhere by falsely claiming sexism when you don't get your fucking way. Fuck you too. Oh, I should be able to beat the shit out of a man, but if he lays a finger on a woman... Fuck you, dude. This guy disagreed with me, so he's an incel and sexist. I don't know what happened. My video just suddenly stopped, and probably with good reason, because I was just going off on a rant. Look, man, to sum up my point, what I'm trying to say is while we should be holding men accountable for being creeps, and for all the catcalling and the toxic masculinity, while we should be doing that, and that's a step in the right direction, we should also be holding the women accountable that help keep sexism alive. The women accountable that falsely claim abuse or harassment just to get their way. Falsely claim fucking being assaulted, or falsely claim sexism just because somebody disagreed with them. Because that makes a mockery of the very issues that women face. I shouldn't have to have personal conversations with women about how often they get hit on and how each almost damn near every time they get into an Uber, if they're attractive at all, they get hit on. And I shouldn't have to have these deep conversations with women that are tired of just being treated like that and then deal with the woman who falsely accuses me of harassment whenever I'm doing literally nothing just because the bitch wants to get a free trip. I shouldn't be having these conversations with these women that are tired of this shit while half of you women are out here looking for any loophole you can to show your butthole on Twitch instead of having a likable personality or some type of talent. Nope. Dude, OnlyFans and hot tub models and porn, dude, that is literally just this generation's way of getting men to pay your bills. Hate to break it to you, but that's the fucking truth. Your mom, she fucked dude to dude to have a place to stay. Just relied on a dude for everything. You don't actually do the physically fucking. You just take pictures of your cooter and do it that way. And for some reason, you think that that's better, when in reality, it's not. You are getting guys to pay your bills. And one day, those pics won't sell, and then you're just going to marry a fucking wallet whenever you're ready to settle down. And then you'll probably be a narcissist the whole time, and then convince yourself to cheat whenever you're a stay-at-home mom because you're so bored and tired and feel worthless. Then you'll cheat, and then you'll fucking leave, and then you'll go bounce from guy. Like, dude, women hold women back just as much as men do. And this is a good example of that. And I think OnlyFans is a good example of that. I think hot tub streamers are a good example of that. I think women that lean into the personality of, yeah, I am a fucking object. Yeah, oh, you catcalled me? Great. Like, the women that are okay with that make it harder for the women that are not. You know, I shouldn't have to work all day and then come home and get on Facebook and see a video that's twerk or jerk and some mediocre looking woman just letting some stranger that's interviewing her grope her fucking ass. I wonder how that guy is going to go on and view the next woman. You know? Like, what do you think you're doing? The only thing valuable about you is your butthole, which everybody has, and for some reason you think that makes you valuable. I do not get it. Everybody has a butthole. Just because you have an ass does not mean, if that's your most valuable asset, then honey, you need to find some more fucking assets, because that's not very valuable. Just because guys want to fuck you doesn't mean you should have that narcissistic, I'm so pretty, everybody wants to fuck me attitude. Because at the end of the day, guys would fuck anything, so it's kind of silly, right, that you think you're valuable because a bunch of guys want to fuck you when they would literally fuck when they would literally fuck a rubber band. Like, we cannot have progress. We're going in the opposite direction. For every woman that's busting her ass and tired of getting fucking catcalled and tired of all the guys in the inbox, there's 9 more that are not only happy with it, but sending each of them a message saying, here's my OnlyFans, here's enabling creeps to be creeps. And as long as you got women doing that, we will never progress. Yeah, we should be holding men accountable for being toxic, but we should also be holding women accountable for being toxic, and that's just the fucking truth. And this bitch of a customer I had to deal with that I literally have proof. I can't play it for you guys because it's a breach, but like it's a personal case. I don't know if that would get me in trouble or anything for having her I don't know, voice. I don't know if I'm allowed to play it or not, but I literally have evidence that I did nothing. And you would think that would be enough for Uber to take my side, but apparently not. They just want to fence it, not do anything about it from the customer's perspective, and not do anything about it to defend the driver either. It's fucking bullshit. So now I got a rating attached to my name, all because some hoe bag doesn't understand that you can't turn left into fucking bumper-to-bumper traffic, and sometimes it's easier to take a fucking block. But then again, I guess that's why she's taking Uber, because she's too stupid and has no situational awareness, so she would probably be a bad fucking driver. And then her airhead boyfriend ready to fight at the drop of a hat in front of a fucking 3-year-old. Dude, I am so happy that I did the smart thing and just drove out of there. Because I damn near for a second almost reached under it and grabbed my hammer and was about ready to just fucking bash his skull in. Because I can legally defend myself. If you come up to my car trying to start shit with no fucking cause, because there was no cause, I have evidence of that, then I'm within my rights to fucking defend myself. That's just the facts. And one of you motherfuckers are gonna fuck around and find out one day, and I'm not excited for it. But my point is, I'm worried about my daughter's future. I love women, man, more than anything. I've had nothing but women in my life. My mom sucked, you know. That was her way of surviving. Like I've said on this channel many times, I've lived with 13 different guys growing up. My ex-wife, she's the same fucking way. Bounced from dude to dude as a place to stay. And they say that there's nothing wrong with traditional values with a woman just wanting to be a child bearer and let a man take care of her. But at the same time, I'm sure they said the same thing after fucking slavery was fucking undone. Boy, do we miss traditional values. You should not want, like, you should want more out of life than to just be some guy's fucking puppet. Like, I don't think those are traditional values. I think that's just fucking being lazy and scooting by off the fact that you have a vagina. That's literally it. That's all it is. It's not traditional values. It's you don't want to get a job. You don't want to fucking have responsibilities. You just want a man to pay all your fucking bills, and then whenever you're tired of him, you'll jump to another man that'll pay all your fucking bills. Maybe pop out a kid with each one, and then abandon them, like my ex-wife. And then I'm finding out that that happens more and more often. Or maybe better yet, you use them as a pawn since the justice system seems to lean more on your side. Even if you're meth the fuck out and the baby has meth in its system, somehow the court will lean to the woman's side. Better yet, why don't you use them as a pawn and keep them from their fucking goddamn dad who's a good person, and go ahead and introduce them to stepdad number 3 while you keep them from their daddy, because that's what's best for them, right? Is being with you and stepdad number 3 when 1 in 5 commit sexual assault on their stepchildren. Y'all have no fucking clue, dude. Like, for every woman that's busting her ass, going to college, and trying to do things the right way, you got 5 more that are just using their pussy as a way to coast and get by. And as long as you have that, that will always define the majority. Does that make sense? And it shouldn't be that way, but that's how it fucking is. And as long as any guy is able to look up any woman he wants to and see her naked, he's always just going to think of a woman as just a piece of ass for him to fuck. So as long as you enable that type of thinking, it'll always continue. Well, Jeremy, guys were always objectifying women since the beginning of time. You're right. But it sounds an awfully lot like giving up to me to just sell your pussy. Oh, well, now at least I'm getting paid for it. Selling your body on OnlyFans is no different than having a career, because having a career is selling your body to the government. That sounds an awfully lot like coke to me, man. Sounds an awfully lot like, yeah, I'm just as important as the girl that busted her ass, when really I'm not, and I'm gonna take all the credit whenever that woman goes and she's the first fucking goddamn astronaut, or the first fucking president, or the first, like, stop fucking pretending you care about women's problems when you actively contribute to them. You only seem to have a problem with them when they don't benefit you. You want to scoot by off having a pussy your entire life, make being fuckable your entire personality, and in the one moment there's a double standard that doesn't benefit you, that's when you have a problem with sexism. That's when you speak up against it to try to look like a good person. Not that you actually give a fuck about it. Then falsely acclaim somebody of harassment because, somebody disagreed with you, or because an Uber took a right turn instead of left. Get the fuck out of your narcissistic selves. And I think it's funny anytime I debate with a woman that's literally done nothing with her life but be a fucking piece of legs. All they do is laugh, react to my comments. And do you know how sad that is? Is that what I should teach my daughter? Hey, you're going to be beautiful. So don't worry about trying in school. Don't worry about putting your brain to the test. Don't worry about working your ass off. Just take pictures of your ass. That'll make you plenty of money, and you can just do that. Best case scenario, you become the 1% that makes millions off of it. Then you can become a narcissistic cunt all your life that thinks you're the shit because everybody wants to fuck you, and then be a spoiled, rich teenager that gets to your head and you treat everybody like shit and think everybody's beneath you because of how many people jerk off to your pictures. Wait, progress, right? I define my worth by how many dudes jack off to my photos. That sounds a whole lot like progress to me. You are ruining it for the other women out there. And yeah, I understand this video is gonna piss people off, but it's the fucking truth, dude. Like, stop blaming men for everything. For every fucking creep out there, you got 10 women enabling that creep. And then that creep goes on and he's a creep to a woman that doesn't want to deal with it while you're happily taking his money. If there weren't women enabling creeps, then maybe the creeps would stop creeping. But Yeah, you should absolutely hold dudes accountable for being fucking weirdos. You should absolutely hold dudes accountable for being uncomfortable and unprofessional Uber drivers. You should absolutely blame dudes for having that dissociation that a woman is just an object. But when you have women contributing to that ideology, hitting you up in your inbox, hey, buy my OnlyFans for $3, blah, 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 how do you expect a guy to not think that way? Think about it. But no, just like a woman, you don't want to take accountability and admit you're wrong at any fucking point, right? Anyway, I appreciate the women out to you that are busting ass, that are actually fucking making changes and outing toxic masculinity and fucking outing the bullshit that you have to deal with. I appreciate the women that I talk to in my car that are fucking tired of being treated like shit, that could strip but choose not to and choose to bust their ass because they're tired of being treated like less than and just some fucking object. While the other half of you are too brain dead to understand that if you coast off your pussy your entire life, that's what you're gonna get treated like. Just a fucking hole. And if you're okay with that, fine. But the other woman next to you might not be. And that's all you're doing. Women help bring women down. Men help bring men down. And with the way things are going, I think the future for women is pretty fucking bleak. I think more and more guys are going to think even more objectively of women. I think more and more guys are literally like, you know I'm right. More and more guys are going to assault women. The population is growing. Fucking rape crimes are getting harder and harder to solve than ever. And it's so easy for a guy to be a creep now. If I want to be a creep and go on Twitch right now and stream and watch some girl in her butthole and jerk one out, I can. And then I can continue to do that every night until I literally don't see the life behind that butthole. Does that make sense? Like, you gotta take accountability somewhere, and I'm tired of literally seeing a twerk or jerk video of a woman just showing her butt and having some random stranger grabbing it, and then right under it saying, don't treat me like an object. It's like, what the fuck do you expect anymore, man? Like, blame your fellow women for as to why you get catcalled 30 times a day, because as long as you got women giving up and leaning into that, that's what's going to happen. It's never going to change. It's only going to get worse, and it's fucking sad. And it's women like this stupid Uber customer falsely claiming people of harassment as to why it's so hard for women to be heard whenever they do finally speak up. A woman, like I said, you should be able to take that without question. And now, because so many women lie about it, when a woman says that she was assaulted, you actually have to wonder for a second if she's lying or not, and it's because of women like this. So good job, bitch. I wish I could say your fucking name and blast you to the world, but I am so worried about the future that my daughter is gonna have to grow up in, man. Like, 99% of y'all shouldn't even have kids. You act like kids yourself. You fucking explode if your ice cream scoop is too small or if your McDouble has too much fucking ketchup. Your problem-solving skills are that of a toddler, and then you pop out 4 fucking kids with 4 different baby daddies, and then you and your fucking inbred boyfriend that have what values to teach the child? What did my mom teach me throughout life? Oh yeah, don't try, spread your legs for a place to stay. Wait a minute, I'm male, I can't do that. I actually gotta bust my ass and work for a living. Damn it, Mom, way to fucking treat me how to survive. And that's all you're gonna do. You OnlyFans moms, you're single moms, that the only way I can make it is if I strip. No, the fuck, that isn't true, and never fucking will be. The only way I can make it, the only way I can survive. No, you just don't want to fucking work. And I don't blame you. Working sucks. But there's lessons through struggle. And if you're not willing to work, then why would you ever be taken seriously as a human being if you just want to be lazy and self-fucking obsessed your entire fucking life? How do you ever expect to be treated like an actual human being and not catcalled 30 times a day when that's what you're doing for a fucking living? I just don't get it. I don't fucking get it, man. It sucks that I have to have these conversations with women about how creeped out they are by other Uber drivers, and then have to get online and then see women actively contributing to these creeps and allowing them to be creeps, and then seeing the cycle. Like, this is just basic observations, man. Women are keeping women down, and men are keeping women down. If you ever want a man to not look at you as an object, then you're gonna need the women to stop treating themselves as an object. If you got fucking 4 million people out there that literally the only skill they got is sucking a fucking dick, like Cardi B, like, Jesus fucking Christ. Yep, let's fuck our way to the top and make videos about, hey, the more better you suck a dick and the fatter your ass is, the more valuable you are as a woman. I'm sure that's progress, right? Anyway, man, I had a really fucking bad day, and this really affected me a lot, and half of you out there really just fucking... The fact that you take money from men for your nudes and then just go spend it on meth or what the fuck ever, go to the club, I don't fucking know. I've known, like, my ex-wife's sister does OnlyFans, and she literally just buys meth with it and then just does OnlyFans and like, it's not a coincidence that the women that do OnlyFans are the same women that lie about assault and are the same women that put other women that try down. You know, like, it's peaked in high school type fucking people. Anyway, if you get anything from this video, it's this. First of all, if you're an Uber driver and you're a guy and you're watching this, stop being a fucking creep. Don't ask that woman for her number. Don't fucking ask for her personal information. Don't look at her in the rearview mirror. Treat her with some fucking respect. Treat her as if she was a guy in the back seat instead of eyeballing her the whole fucking time and creeping her out. And if you're a woman watching this video that busts your fucking ass every day, understand that I'm not attacking you or women in general. I care about what women go through every day. But I see what contributes to the problem, and it's both. We can single-handedly blame men for being them creepy selves, or we can blame men and the women that fucking enable these guys to be creeps and keep that ideology alive. I see you women out there that bust your ass and fucking agree with what I'm saying. But there are so many, for every one woman that agrees with what I'm saying, there are 9 that are single moms that will never in their lives do what I'm doing, which is working 7 days a week to barely scrape by. No, they would rather fuck, sell their butthole, and take the easy way out, and just have a man pay their bills. But hey, progress, right? Independence, am I right? Relying on that guy to buy her nudes, that's so independent, right? Like, just the values that... And I see so many people that are on OnlyFans are single moms. Like, if you have a son... He's going to grow up to hate women, for one. Just so you know, he's going to grow up to literally see women as objects and probably hate them and never treat them right. And if you have a daughter, she's going to grow up to probably hate herself and think that that's what she needs to do to make a living. You have absolutely no value to teach your fucking child. Congratulations. Anyways, man, that's the end of my fucking rant. Stop falsely claiming harassment whenever nobody did anything. Stop falsely claiming sexual assault when nobody did anything just because you want to be that victim damsel in distress, but tomorrow you want to be taken seriously and then complain about double standards. Go fuck yourself, because you're making it harder for women everywhere. And women like this bitch are literally making it harder for women everywhere. And if that's you, go ahead and get offended by this video. I don't give a fuck. To accept it. It's the fucking truth. You can laugh, react on Facebook, and act like it's funny all you fucking want. No, it's really depressing to me that you think it's funny that my daughter's gonna grow up in a future where women are more unsafe than ever because you would rather sell your pussy than get a fucking job. Thanks. Oh, and I just wanted to add this for shits and giggles. The other day, I made a Facebook comment about swiping your husband's credit cards for a living, and this woman replied, and said, "What's wrong with swiping your husband's credit cards for a living? Are you just jealous because you're too broke to take care of your wife?" And I thought it was funny because normally I don't reply to people on the internet. It's not worth the fucking time. I just, if they reply to me, I don't give a fuck enough about you enough to reply to you. But in this case, I knew I could rip her a new asshole. So I just said, how sad. First of all, I took care of a woman for 3 fucking years single-handedly. Thank you very much. This woman was the definition of codependent, wouldn't even walk into Walmart and buy fucking something from the store by herself. Couldn't drive, literally bounces from dude to dude. Cannot survive without a dude. Imagine thinking it's a flex to swipe your husband's credit cards for a living. Imagine thinking it's a flex that you have no life skills and that you're happy setting women back because you just want to exist and coast off your pussy. Imagine thinking that was a sick fucking burn, when in reality, you're just admitting that, oh yeah, I'm not shit without my husband. If my husband left me today, not only could I not work because I'm too brain dead to, but I'm too lazy and I would just get with another guy to pay my bills. Imagine thinking that's a flex. You stupid fucking asshole. Yeah, that's a step backwards for women. If you think like that, how could it not be? If literally that's how you want to live your life is just by marrying a wallet, then what the fuck do you expect other women to be treated like based off of that? Like, if you're over here boasting about the fact that you don't have to work and that your husband pays for you and you think that that's a fucking good thing, like, what do you think that's doing to the women that actually fucking try? Like, you're nothing but a step back. I just wanted to add that. Like, literally a step back. Think about it. How is it not? How are you not setting women backwards? Right? Women are trying to become independent and fucking show that they can outwork the man next to them. And fucking, it has taken so much for women to rise to positions of power, and cunts like you that are proud of having no life skills, no work ethic, and you need to spread your legs to fucking financially be taken care of, you will always set that woman back that's next to you trying to bust her ass. You will be the reason why she is not taken seriously. Yeah, sure, blame the fucking man for being the way he is, but you also need to blame the women that are fucking proud of that. Thanks for watching. Hey, I'm sorry to keep piling on to this video, but I got my blue lights turned off. But just wanted to make another point, man. Like, look at Cardi B, for example. Y'all be over here bumping WAP, right? I don't cook, I don't clean, but I still get that ring. A woman like Cardi B, a stripper that fucked her way to the top and sucked dick, that now uses her platform and her influence to influence young girls everywhere, that the better you suck a dick and the fatter your ass is and the more people that's been in it, the more valuable of a woman you are. And you don't see the problem with that. That's the women that we're idolizing today. Shit like her and Kim K, who only got famous because she took a big old black dick on a fucking sex tape and has done nothing but show her ass her entire life. Like, do you not see the problem with that? Literally, our women influencers that fucking made it to the top are using their fucking platform to influence our youth in a negative fucking way. Women that grow up listening to that shit genuinely fucking believe that the better that you suck a dick and the better that you are at being a whole, the more valuable you are as a woman. Tell me how that's fucking progression. Tell me how that's not going backwards. What am I supposed to tell my daughter, man, when all of her classmates' parents do fucking OnlyFans for a living? Literally, what am I supposed to tell her? Huh? Like, y'all laugh, react, and act like this isn't a serious subject, but what am I supposed to tell her? Yeah, you know, we don't bother fucking working, just sell your pussy. Why don't you get C average grades, and then you can go be an RN because it only takes 2 years of schooling, and then you can be a terrible fucking nurse, put in little effort, stripped to get there, to pay for your fucking college tuition that's only 2 years after being C average student your entire life. Then you can make fun of all your patients on Reddit like all the women do today. Like, you pick the easiest career choice of all time, an RN, that takes a less amount of schooling, and then you guys are bad at it. Like, fucking, that's a whole other video worth ranting about. But, like, my point is like, you got women like Cardi B that literally say in their music, the better you suck a dick, the more valuable you are as a woman. You got women like Cardi B that literally fuck their way to the top. And then you got women out there that think that that's right, that that's okay. You don't see how that's setting women back a little bit? Anyway, this is the last thing I'm going to add to the video. Go ahead and bump WAP and then complain 2 seconds later on Facebook that you're treated like an object when your literal fucking goddamn measurement of worth is how good you are at sucking a dick, and tell me that you're not setting women backwards. Thanks for watching.